Now it is okay. So now we are in the module 3 engineering materials. So this engineering materials is divided into two parts. One is the polymers and second one is the lubricants. Okay ma, the first part is the polymers and second part is the lubricants. Okay ma, in polymers we see the first of all introduction, definition and classifications of the polymers with suitable examples. After that we see types of the polymerization. It includes the three types: addition, condensation and copolymerization. After that we enter into the one of the important polymers, nothing but the plastics and the types of the plastics. These are mainly two types: thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. After that, in order to improve the strength of the plastics, we apply the compounding of the plastic processes by using the various types of the chemicals and ingredients. Then we see the individual polymers, our daily used most of the examples like polyvinyl chloride, Teflon, Bakelite, nylon 66. In the three categories, mainly preparation, properties and applications. After that we see one of the important polymers, nothing but biodegradable polymers. Okay ma, so up to biodegradable polymers, we have the syllabus for first mid examination, CIE1 examinations. Okay ma, up to biodegradable polymers. Okay ma, so for first mid CIE1 examinations, our chemistry syllabus is 2.5 units. That is module 1 electrochemistry and batteries, and module 2 water technology, and module 3 engineering materials. So 50% of the syllabus, that means 2.5 units. So module 3, the 50% is up to biodegradable polymers. Up to biodegradable polymers, we have the syllabus for the first mid examination, CIE1 examinations. Okay ma, all of you understood about CIE1 syllabus? Emma, give me response.
Yes,
All of you understood about CIE1 syllabus? Okay, let us start the our module 3 engineering materials. Okay ma, our first topic in the polymers is first of all polymers introduction and its classification. After that we see types of the polymerization. So the topics which are covered in mainly definition to the polymers. After that we see classification of the polymers with suitable examples. Then we see types of the polymerization, mainly three types: addition, condensation and copolymerization. Okay ma, so these are the topics covered in today's session. So first of all we see polymers. So polymers, which is coming out from a Greek language. So in Greek language the poly means many and mer means units. That means a single substance which contains the number of the units, large number of the units, so that is called polymer. Okay, so basically polymer is defined as the large molecules, nothing but giant molecule or macromolecule, formed by the linkage of the small molecules called monomers. So we understood that the monomer is a basic unit of the polymer. Monomer is a basic unit of a polymer, and there is a linkage between the monomer to monomer to form a long chain polymer, long chain substance, that is called polymer. So what is the linkage in between the monomers? That is the covalent bond involved in between the monomers. You know about that, mainly three types of the bonds are present: ionic bond, covalent bond and coordination covalent bond. Out of three bonds, coordination covalent bond is the more stable. Okay ma, so can you give the example coordination covalent bond in our syllabus? Emma, anybody give the example for coordination covalent bond in our syllabus? Coordination covalent bond. The substances which are formed by the coordination covalent bond are called as complexes. What is the example for complex in our syllabus? Ima, am I audible to you? All of you listen to me. What is the example of complex in our syllabus? In previous unit, we discussed about that.
EDTA.
Metal EDTA complex. So that is the example for the complex compounds, which is formed by the coordination covalent bond in between the ligand to metal. Why? Because metals are calcium and magnesium. They having the which charge? Plus charge or minus charge?
Plus.
Plus charge. Plus charge means electron efficient compound or electron deficient compound? The metal ion having the positive charge. Electron
Deficient.
Deficient compound. That means they are ready to take up the electrons from EDTA. So EDTA is ready to donate the electrons. So there is a coordination covalent bond in between the ligand to metal. So that is called metal EDTA complex. Okay, ma. So coordination covalent bond is the more stable than the covalent bond and ionic bond. Now coming to the topic, the linkage between the monomers are the covalent bond. Can you give the example for covalent bond generally? In which molecules covalent bond is formed? By taking the example of chlorine molecule Cl2. So there is a sharing of electron pairs. So that is called covalent bond. Such covalent bond is formed in between the monomers linkage to form a large molecule. So that is the polymer. Okay, ma. So polymer is nothing but a large molecule which is formed by the linkage of the monomeric units. And these monomeric units are basic unit of a polymer. Basic unit of a polymer. Okay, ma. So the linkage, that means if anybody asking you what is the bond involved in between the monomers, simply you said that covalent bond. Covalent bond. And the stability of the covalent bond is the medium when compared to the ionic and coordination covalent bond. Okay, ma. Now we see the example of a polymers. Our daily used polythene bags. So polythene bags means polythene material which is involved in the that manufacturing of the carry bags. And the polymer is the polyethylene. Polyethylene. So already we said that every polymer having its basic unit that is called monomer. Okay, ma. So what is the monomer in polyethylene? Emma, what is the monomer in polyethylene?
Ethylene.
Ethylene. Okay, very good. So you see the equation ethylene. Ethylene means what is the formula? C2H4. C2H4. And the structure is CH2 double bond CH2. When this monomer undergoes a polymerization to give a polymer. That means n moles of the ethylene undergoes a addition polymerization. N moles of the ethylene undergoes a addition polymerization to give polyethylene. So that means initially, Emma, hello? N moles of the ethylene undergoes a addition polymerization to give polyethylene. Where small n represents the total number of the monomers which involved in the polymerization. The total number of the monomers which are involved in the polymerization. So simply the small n represents the degree of polymerization. So degree of polymerization means the total number of the monomers which are involved in the polymerization. The total number of the monomer molecules which are involved in the polymerization. Okay, ma. So this is about the definition and example of the polymers. Okay, ma. Next we see monomers. So monomers is nothing but the basic unit of the polymer, and it is simply called as repeated unit of a polymer, repeated unit of a polymer. That means we observe that from the starting of the chain to ending of the chain, definitely there is a presence of a monomers. So the linkage between the monomers to form a large molecule or macromolecule, so that is called the monomers. So we observe that monomer is a repeating unit of a polymer, repeating unit of a polymer. And monomer slide కనబట్టలేదమ్మా. Now it is okay. All of you visible the monomer slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am. So what is the monomer definition? Basically the basic unit of a polymer is known as a monomer, and from the starting of the chain to ending of the chain we observe the monomeric linkage unit. So that's why this monomer is called as a repeated units, and the number of the repeating units in a polymer chain is called the degree of polymerization. Already I said that in the polymer chain, from the starting of the chain to ending of the chain, we observe the repeating units of a monomers, and the total number of the repeating units is represents the degree of polymerization. For example, if you consider 100 molecules of the ethylene, 100 molecules of the ethylene monomer undergoes a addition polymerization to give a polymer chain, then the degree of the polymerization represents the total number of the molecules. So how many number of the molecules involved in the polymerization? 100 molecules of the ethylene molecule. So degree of the polymerization small n, degree of the polymerization small n is equal to 100. Okay, ma? So that means degree of the polymerization which represents the total number of the monomers which involved in the polymerization, which are involved in the polymerization. Okay, ma? So this is about the monomers and degree of the polymerization. Okay, ma? So first of all, polymers definition. After that we see monomers and degree of polymerization. Then move to classification. But before starting the classification, once I revise the overall definitions of polymer, monomer and degree of polymerization including examples. Okay, ma? Now anybody tell me what is the meaning of polymer? What is the meaning of polymer?
The larger molecules formed by linkages with smaller molecules.
So polymer is nothing but a large molecule which is formed by the linkage between the monomers, Okay, ma? So which linkage takes place in between the monomers?
Covalent.
Okay, ma. Covalent bond. Okay, ma. So what is the example of the polymer?
Polyethylene.
Polyethylene.
Okay,
Nylon.
Okay, ma. Nylon 66 is also another example. Very good. Okay, ma. So what is the monomer in polythene?
Ethylene.
Ethylene. Okay, ma. What is the polymerization takes place in polyethylene?
Ethane.
Ethylene is the monomer. Which polymerization? Addition, condensation. Addition polymerization. Okay, ma. Very good. Okay, ma. Now define what is monomer. What is monomer?
Repeated unit of polymer.
Okay, ma. Monomer is nothing but a basic unit of a polymer, and it is also called as repeated units. Okay, ma. And what is the degree of polymerization?
Number of repeating units of polymer.
The number of repeating units in a polymer chain is called the degree of polymerization. Which letter is represented by degree of polymerization?
N.
Which n? Small n or capital N?
Small n.
Small n. Small n represents the degree of polymerization. Okay, ma? So that is about the polymers definition and monomers definition, including their examples. After that we see degree of polymerization. Now we see the classification of the polymers. Okay, ma? All of you visible this slide, classification slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first of all, polymers cannot be classified under one category because of their complex structures, different behaviors, and vast applications. So polymers in our daily life we used in so many ways, in domestic purpose and industrial purpose and daily used life, so that they cannot be classified even in a single category. They are classified in various types of the categories, different based on their structures and their suitable applications. Okay, ma. So therefore the classification is mainly based on the following consideration. Now we see the first classification based on the availability of the source. So source of the polymers. So there are mainly three types of the classification under the availability of the polymers, that are called as the first one is natural polymers. The first one is natural polymers, and second one is the synthetic polymers, and third one is the semi-synthetic polymers. Mainly three types of the polymers based on the source of the polymers. The first one is the natural polymers, and the second one is the synthetic polymers, and the third one is the semi-synthetic polymers. Semi-synthetic
Sir,
polymers.
please and allow waiting room people, sir.
In participants, there is no people in waiting room, amma. Where you can see the people which are present in waiting room. In participants, all are in meeting. What is your number?
Sir, 08, roll number 08 is in waiting room. करके he told me, sir.
Zero 08. But I didn't get any message, amma. The people who are in present in waiting room.
Okay, sir, you continue the class.
So again, you log out, then join again. Okay, amma. Okay, amma. Now coming to the topic, the first classification is mainly takes place based on the source of the polymers. That is mainly three types. One is the natural polymers, and second one is the synthetic polymers, and the third one is the semi-synthetic polymers. Now you see what are the examples for the three categories. The first one is the natural polymers. Natural polymers means they occur naturally. That means they are directly obtained from the nature. They are directly obtained from the nature, like plants and animals. Okay, ma. So for the plants, by taking the examples of like proteins, starch, cellulose, and rubber, all of this comes under category of the natural occurring polymers. Then we add the some of the ingredients that are converted into a biodegradable polymers, so which are called the biopolymers. So ma Akshay Rao, you join in our register number, ma, not with your name.
Sir, that's not me. Someone is using my login.
Ma, rename. Rename the particular people with your number. I think 3 to 4 members joined with their names. They may be renamed with your roll number. Okay, natural polymers. So natural polymers means these are directly obtained from the nature, like plants and animals. The examples of the polymers which are obtained from the plants, nothing but protein, starch, cellulose, and rubber. And then we add the some of the substances to get a biodegradable polymers. That is also called a biopolymers. Next one, semi-synthetic polymers. So semi-synthetic polymers means they are derived naturally occurring polymers but undergo further chemical modification. But mean the polymers which are obtained naturally, but if you use the polymers for the purpose, either domestic or industrial purpose, there is a chemical modification. So that is called as a semi-synthetic polymers. After that, we see semi-synthetic polymers examples like cellulose nitrate and cellulose acetate. Cellulose nitrate and cellulose acetate. Then we see synthetic polymers. Synthetic polymers are purely man-made polymers, and plastic is the best example for a synthetic polymers, and is also most widely used in synthetic polymers, especially in the industries and various dairy products. So the examples for a synthetic polymers are the nylon 66 and polyethers. Nylon 66 and polyethers. Okay, ma? So these are the first classification of the polymers based on its source. Okay, ma? Now tell me, how many types of the polymers based on the source?
3 types.
3 types. What are they, ma?
Natural,
Natural, synthetic,
and
semi-synthetic.
semi-synthetic.
Okay, ma. What is the example for natural polymers, ma?
Protein, starch,
Cellulose,
cellulose, rubber.
proteins, plants.
Okay, ma. Proteins, starch, cellulose, and rubber example for a natural polymers. Okay, ma. And also biopolymers. Biodegradable polymers is also comes under category of the natural polymers. And what about the examples of a semi-synthetic polymers, ma?
Cellulose rayon and cellulose nitrate.
Okay, ma. Cellulose acetate and cellulose nitrate. Okay, ma. And what about synthetic polymers, ma?
Nylon.
Nylon, polyethylene.
Nylon 6,6 and polyether.
Ether.
Okay, ma. Polyether is also comes under category of the synthetic polymers. Okay, ma. So this is about the first classification of the polymers based on its source. Now we move to second classification. So this classification is based on the monomeric chain. So this classification is based on the monomeric chain. So already I said that the polymer is a large molecule which is formed by the linkage between the monomers. So linkage between the monomers to form a monomeric chain. So depends upon that chain also we are classified the types of the polymers. There are mainly 3 types of the chains. One is the linear chain polymers. Next one is the branched chain polymers, and third one is the cross-linked chain polymers. That means there are mainly 3 types of the chains: linear chain polymers, branched chain polymers, and cross-linked chain polymers. Out of the 3 chain polymers, the cross-linked chain polymers are the more stable because the bond involved between that means the covalent bond involved between the monomers is the strongest bond in cross-linked chain polymers. That means it satisfies the tetravalency of the carbon. That means it linked with the totally 4 bonds. Okay, ma. And the stability of the branched chain polymers is the medium compared to the linear and cross-linked chain polymers. And out of 3 chains, the less stable chain polymers are the linear chain polymers. Linear chain polymers because they are present in the straight chain bond, and that's why these are having the less stability. Okay, ma. Now we see the first one, linear chain polymers. The structure of the polymers containing long and straight chains. Long and straight chains fall into this category, and example is PVC. PVC means polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride, and it is largely used for making pipes and electrical cables. Is an example of a linear polymer. Okay, ma. So this is about the linear polymers. Next we see branched chain polymers. So branched chain polymers means when linear chains of a polymer form the branches. So linear chain means straight chain. So for the straight chain, we have the put of the bond either top of the chain or bottom of the chain. So that is called as a branches, and that polymers are comes under category of a branched chain polymers. And the example of a branched chain polymers is low density polyethylene. Low density polyethylene, and it is simply abbreviated as LDPE. LDPE, low density polyethylene. And the third category is the cross-linked chain polymers. So cross-linked polymer are obtained by the bifunctional and trifunctional monomers. Bifunctional and trifunctional monomers. Cross-linked polymers are produced by the bifunctional and trifunctional monomers. So first of all, what is functionality? The total number of the bonds attached to the monomers. If the monomer is linked by the two bonds, that is called bifunctional. If the monomer is linked by the trifunctional, that is trifunctional monomer. If the monomer is linked with the four bonds, that means tetra bonds. So that is called tetra functional or polyfunctional monomers. Okay, ma? So whenever the total number of the bonds increases from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, what happens? The stability of the polymer will be increases. So in case of the cross-linked polymers, which involves the bifunctional and trifunctional monomers, so the total number of the bonds linked with the monomers will be increases. So automatically what happens? The stability also increases. So that's why this linkage is called cross-linked. Cross-linked. So from the title, understood that the cross-linked polymers are more stable because of the it involve the both bifunctional and trifunctional monomers. And finally, we observe that stronger covalent bond is produced compared to the other linear polymer. So the best example for a cross-linked polymers are the bakelite and melamine. Bakelite and melamine is the example for a cross-linked polymers. Okay, ma? So this is about the second classification. Okay, ma? Now tell me how many types of chains are there, ma?
3 types.
3 types. What are they?
Linear, branched, and cross-linked.
Okay, ma. Linear chain, branched chain, cross-linked chain. In linear chain, which type of bond is observed, ma?
Single bond.
Straight chain and long and straight chain bonds are observed. Okay, ma. What is the example for linear polymers, ma?
PVC.
Polyvinyl chloride.
Polyvinyl chloride. And what is the application of PVC, ma?
Making pipes and electric cables.
Okay, ma. Very good. Next. What is the second chain, ma?
Branched chain polymer.
Branched chain polymers. Okay, ma. What is the example for the branched chain, ma?
Low density polyethylene.
Okay, ma. LDPE, low density polyethylene. What is the third chain, ma?
Cross-linked
polymers.
Okay, cross-linked polymers. Okay, ma. In cross-linked polymers, which bond is observed, ma?
Covalent bond.
Which type of covalent bond? Strong or weak?
Stronger covalent.
Stronger covalent bond is observed. Okay, ma. And what are the examples for cross-linked polymers, ma?
Bakelite, melamine.
Bakelite and melamine.
Bakelite and melamine. Out of 3 chains, which chain is more stable?
Cross-linked polymers.
Cross-linked polymers. And which chain is less stable?
Linear.
Linear chain. Okay. Next, we see the classification based on the polymerization. So there are mainly 2 types of the polymerization. One is the addition polymerization, and second one is the condensation polymerization. So addition polymerization is defined as a the polymerization takes place without byproducts, without formation of byproducts. That is called addition polymerization. The polymers which are formed under the addition polymerization, examples are polyethylene, Teflon, and polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride. These are the examples for a addition polymerization. And the polymers which are formed by the under condensation polymerization, nylon 66, perylene and polyesters. Nylon 66, perylene and polyesters. So condensation polymerization which involves the formation of byproducts. Okay, so that is the difference between the types of polymerization: addition polymerization and condensation polymerization. Okay, so this is the third classification. Okay, tell me how many types of polymerization, ma?
Two types,
Two types. What are they?
addition and condensation.
Okay, ma. In which polymerization involve the formation of byproducts?
Addition comes.
Addition involves formation of byproducts or condensation?
Condensation.
Condensation.
Condensation is the right answer. Condensation which involves the formation of byproducts. Okay, ma. What are the examples for addition polymers?
Polyethylene and PVC.
Polythene, Teflon and PVC. What are the examples for condensation polymers?
Nylon 66, terylene.
Polyesters. Okay. Next, we see the classification of the polymers based on the monomers. Previously, we see monomeric chain. Now we see based on the monomers. So that means in the monomers, only two classifications are there. Two types are there. One is the homomer and second one is the heteromer or copolymer. Homomer means from the starting of the chain to ending of the chain, we observe the same number of the repeating units. That means same type of the monomer is observed from the starting of the chain to ending of the chain. Heteropolymer means from the starting of the chain to ending of the chain, we observe the different linkage of the monomers, different types of linkage of the monomers. So that is called heteropolymer or copolymer. Now we see homomer. In this type, a single type of the monomeric unit is present from the starting of the chain to ending of the chain. What is the example for homomer? Polythene. So polythene means only one monomer is present, one type of the monomer is present. So that is called the ethylene. Whereas in case of the hetero means, what is the meaning of hetero? Hetero means different. Homo means same. So heteropolymer means it consists of different types of the monomers, different types of the monomeric units. So what is the example for the heteromer? Nylon 66. Next, nylon 66. So what are the monomers involved in the nylon 66? Adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine. Adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine. So these two are the one is different from the another monomer. So that's why nylon 66 is comes under category of the heteropolymer. Okay, now tell me how many types of polymers based on monomers, amma?
Two, sir.
Two. What are they?
Homomer and heteromer.
Homomer and heteromer.
Heteropoly.
Okay, very good. What is the example for homomer, amma?
Polyethylene.
Okay, what is the example for copolymer, amma?
Nylon 66.
Nylon 66. Okay. Next, we see the last classification of the polymers based on the molecular forces. So this molecular forces classification is also explains the stability of the resultant polymers. These are mainly four types. One is the elastomers, and the second one is the fibers, and the third one is the thermoplastics, and the fourth one is the thermosetting polymers. Thermosetting polymers. Now we see one by one. The first one is the elastomers. So generally elastomers means the substance having the elasticity. What is the meaning of elasticity? The substance comes to its original shape after removal of applied stress or force. The substance comes to its original shape after removing the applied stress. So that is called elastomer. So because of it involves the weak van der Waals forces. That's why the stretching and bending is possible in case of the elastomers. So what are the examples? The best example for an elastomer is a rubber. So these are the rubbers like solids and involves the weak interaction forces. Weak interaction forces means weak van der Waals forces are present in the elastomers. The best example for an elastomer is a rubber. Okay, ma. Next, second one, fibers. But fibers does not behave like a elastomers because these are highly strong and stable polymers. Why? Because it involves the mainly intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So these are the strong, tough, high tensile strength and strong forces of the interactions are present in between the monomers. And the best example for a fibers are a nylon 6,6. And third category is the thermoplastics. Thermoplastics means the substance which are soft on heating and stiff on cooling. So that means the the mobility of the plastics is mainly depends on the thermoplastics. That means these are soft on heating and stiff on cooling. So these are the intermediate forces of the attraction. And the best example for a thermoplastics is the polyvinyl chloride. And third one is the thermosetting polymers. So thermosetting polymers means stiff on heating and further there is no change on cooling. Stiff on heating and further there is no change on cooling. So these polymers greatly improve the strength of the materials, especially mechanical properties, and it provides the enhanced chemical and heat resistance. And the examples of the thermosetting polymers are the phenolics, epoxies, and silicones. Now compared to the thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Thermosetting plastics are the more stable because it involves the cross-linked chain, whereas thermoplastics involve the linear and branched chain polymers. Okay, ma? So now compared to the overall 4 types of the polymers, fibers are the highly strong. Next one thermosetting, next one thermoplastics, next elastomers. So this is the stability order of the polymers based on molecular forces. Okay, ma? Now tell me how many types based on molecular forces?
Four types.
What are them, ma?
Elastomers, fibers, thermoplastics, thermosetting plastics.
Okay, ma. So what are the examples for the elastomers?
Rubber.
Okay, ma. Next, what are the example for fibers?
Nylon 6,6.
Okay, ma. What are the examples for thermoplastics?
PVC. And
okay, ma. What are the example for thermosetting?
Phenolics, epoxies, and silicones.
Okay, ma. Out of all, which polymers are more stable? Thermosetting polymers, because they involve the which chain?
Cross-linked chain.
Cross-linked chain. Okay, ma. Very good. Next, we see the types of the polymerizations. Already we discussed about mainly 3 types. One is addition polymerization, and second one is the condensation, and third one is the copolymerization. So today we discuss briefly about these types of the polymerizations. Tomorrow we discuss elaborately. Okay, first we see the definition. Addition polymerization. The alternative name for the addition polymerization is known as chain growth polymerization, because especially in addition polymerization we observe the length of the chain, and the small monomeric units join to form a giant monomer, that is nothing but a large polymer. In each step the chain length will be increases. The best example for a addition polymerization is nothing but a polymerization of a ethane in the presence of peroxides. Okay, ma? And it involves there is no formation of a byproducts. That is called addition polymerization. And next one is the condensation polymerization. Mainly in the case of the condensation polymerization, mute yourself. Condensation polymerization, mainly it involves the formation of a byproducts like water, carbon monoxide, and ammonia, which are formed as a byproducts in the condensation polymerization, and it is also called as step growth polymerization. Okay, this is called step growth polymerization. So generally the organic compounds containing bifunctional groups such as aldehydes, diols, diamines, dicarboxylic acids undergo this type of the polymerization reaction. And the best example for a condensation polymers is a nylon 6,6. And third one, Third one is the copolymerization. Copolymerization means heteromers. So in this mainly involves the two different types of the monomers joined to form a large polymer. And the best example for a copolymerization is a Buna. Yes, it is a one type of the natural. It is a one type of the synthetic rubber. Buna is a one type of the synthetic rubber. Okay, ma. So this is about the three types of the polymerizations with the suitable examples briefly. Okay, ma, now tell me how many types of polymerization, Amma? How many types of polymerization, Amma? Okay, ma, tell me how many types of polymerization, Amma?
3 types.
3 types. What are they, Amma?
Addition and
Addition,
condensation.
condensation, and copolymerization.
Addition, condensation, copolymerization. What are the examples for the addition polymers, Amma?
Ethane in the presence of peroxide.
Okay, Amma.
Polymerization of ethane.
Okay, ma. What is the alternative name for addition polymerization?
Chain growth polymerization.
Okay, Amma. What is the second type, Amma?
Condensation polymerization.
Okay, ma. So what is the difference between addition and condensation?
Condensation has byproducts, but
Byproduct.
Okay, ma. Condensation involves the formation of byproducts. Very good. What is the example for condensation polymers?
Nylon 6,6.
Nylon 6,6.
Nylon 6,6. What is the third polymerization, Amma?
Copolymerization.
Copolymerization.
Okay, ma. What is the example for copolymers?
Buna-S.
Nice.
Buna-S.
Buna-S is example for natural rubber or synthetic rubber?
Synthetic
Synthetic
rubber.
Synthetic rubber. Okay, ma. Very good. Come on, now I take the attendance. Okay, ma. 1, 2. What about 3, Amma? 3 is absent.
Present.
Amma, register one number, Amma. నీ నెంబర్ తో రిజిస్టర్ అవ్వలేదా?
Network problems.
నెట్వర్క్ ప్రాబ్లం ఉందమ్మా. రిజిస్టర్ అయినప్పుడు రీనేమ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు కదా. ఓకే, 4, 5, 6, 7. వాట్ అబౌట్ 7? 7 is absent. Next. 8, 9, 10, 11.
Sir, 7 present, sir.
ఏ నెంబర్తో రిజిస్టర్ అయ్యామా నువ్వు? రోల్ నెంబర్తో రిజిస్టర్ అవ్వమని చెప్తున్నామా? లేదా
Roll number
absent
to yes, sir.
మరి ఏది నీ నెంబర్ కనబట్టలేదు కదా. ఇప్పుడు రిజిస్టర్ అయినాం, ఇందాక లేదు ఆర్డర్లో. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
8 present, sir.
8 ఓకే అమ్మా, నేను ఆప్షన్ అనలేదు కదా, రోల్స్ వస్తున్నానండి. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. నెంబర్ 17. 17 absent. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. What about 22? 22 is absent. Next 23. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28.
ఎక్స్క్యూజ్ మీ సార్.
చెప్పండి అమ్మా.
సార్ నేను హర్షిని మాట్లాడుతున్నా సార్.
మేడం హలో, చెప్పండి మేడం.
సార్ ఒకసారి చాట్ బాక్స్ చెక్ చేసుకోరా.
చాట్ బాక్స్ మేడం. ఏంటి మేడం, అవర్ కంటిన్యూ చేయాలా?
ఏమైనా పాసిబుల్ అవుతుందా సార్? అంటే ల్యాబ్ ఉంది సార్, 3 hours జర్నీలో ఉన్నా అందుకని.
ఓకే 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 మేడం, ఓకే మేడం, ఓకే మేడం, కంటిన్యూ
1
చేస్తాను.
hour, నేను 2 hours కంటిన్యూ చేస్తాను.
ఓకే 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 మేడం, ఓకే మేడం, కంటిన్యూ చేస్తాను. ఓకే ఓకే
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
ఓకే. ఓకే అమ్మా, ఎలాగో అటెండెన్స్ తీసుకుంటాం కదా, ఇది కంప్లీట్ అవ్వగానే చూద్దాం. నెక్స్ట్ 22, 23 బోత్ ఆర్ ఆబ్సెంట్ అమ్మా. Next 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 34, 35, 36. What about 37? Amma 37 also absent. Next 46. $54. 54 also absent. 55.
సార్ వెయిటింగ్ రూమ్ చెక్ చేయండి సార్ ఒకసారి.
56. 56 and 59 not there. 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65.
37 present, sir.
37 ఉన్నావు మనకు. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ ఎవరన్నా ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ 54. ఓకే, 56. ఓకే, 59. ఓకే, ఎవరమ్మా అక్షరావ్, యువర్ నెంబర్ ఈజ్ 37 అమ్మా.
Sir, Gayatri, sir, 37.
అక్షరావ్ నెంబర్ ఎంత ఎవరమ్మా? అక్షరావ్ నెంబర్ ఎంత రాచకొండ?
13.
13 నా?
That's someone, sir. My
అక్షరావ్ నెంబర్, వాట్ ఈస్ యువర్ నెంబర్ అమ్మా అక్షరావ్? 13. సెవెంటీన్ నో అమ్మా. ఓకే, $60. Okay, ma. Finally, the absent numbers are 22, 23, and 46. 3 members. Okay,
సార్
ma.
వెయిటింగ్ రూమ్ ఒకసారి చెక్ చేయండి సార్.
వెయిటింగ్ రూమ్, వెయిటింగ్ రూమ్ లో ఎవరు లేరు కదమ్మా, పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ లోనే కదా వెయిటింగ్ రూమ్ ఆప్షన్ వచ్చేది. పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ లో వెయిటింగ్ రూమ్ ఎవరు లేరు. నీ నెంబర్ ఎంత?
ఓకే సార్, నేను కాదు సార్, వేరే వాళ్ళు మెసేజ్ పెడుతున్నారు సార్.
అవునమ్మా, ఇది మెసేజ్ కూడా ఏం రావట్లేదు ఇక్కడ చాట్ బాక్స్ లో.
23 మెసేజ్ పెట్టండి సార్, వెయిటింగ్ రూమ్ లో ఉన్నాను.
మరి ఇక్కడ పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ లో వెయిటింగ్ లో ఏం కనబట్టలేదు.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే.
వాట్ అబౌట్ 22 and 46? 23 చూసిన ఇక్కడ ఇప్పుడు వచ్చాడు నెంబర్. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్. ఓకే, 22 and 46. These 2 members are absent. 22 not there, and 46. Also not there. Okay. So final option is, sir, 22 and 46. 2 members only. Okay, ma?
Okay, sir.
Okay, ma. And then continue the class. So already you discussed about addition polymerization, condensation polymerization, and co-polymerization. Okay, ma. So the basic difference between the addition polymerization and condensation polymerization is mainly in addition polymerization there is no formation of byproducts, and it involves the growth of a chain. So that's why this is called as a chain growth polymerization. And second one is the condensation polymerization. Condensation polymerization, which involves the formation of byproducts like water, carbon monoxide, and ammonia, and it is also called as step growth polymerization. Okay, ma. And the example for a condensation polymerization is nylon 66, and which involves the linkage of cross chain. So that's why these condensation polymers are more stable than the addition polymers. After that, we see copolymerization. Copolymerization means which involves the mainly two different monomers. That means two types of the monomers involved in the polymerization to form a large molecule. And the example for a copolymerization is a Biona synthetic rubbers. Okay, ma. Now I share the differences between the addition and condensation polymerization.
Sir,
చెప్పండమ్మా.
sir, copolymerization లో two different monomers are joined, sir.
Yes, అమ్మా.
They are joined by addition or condensation, sir.
Copolymerization is the monomers are joined by the addition, amma. Addition polymerization.
Okay, sir.
Okay, ma. Who is CH Anjani Varshita? What is our number, amma?
Sir, 16, sir, due to the network issue.
Okay, amma. Okay, ma. All of you visible the differences between condensation and addition polymerization, amma?
Yes, sir.
Okay, amma. So condensation and addition polymerization. So first of all, we already know about the addition polymerization. It is called the chain growth polymerization. And what is the alternative name for condensation polymerization? Step growth polymerization. Okay, ma. So in addition polymerization, the monomers having the multiple bonds. The monomers having the multiple bonds. Whereas in condensation polymerization, the monomers having the reactive functional groups. Okay, ma. Reactive functional groups. And already we discussed about addition polymerization takes place without elimination of a simple molecule. That means there is no formation of a byproducts. But whereas in case of the condensation polymers, it is occurs due to the formation of a byproducts. That means it eliminates the simple molecules like water, carbon dioxide, water, ammonia, and hydrochloric acid. Water, ammonia, and hydrochloric acid. And in case of the addition polymerization, repeated units and monomers are same. Repeated units and monomers are same. That means it is the example for a homomer. But whereas in the case of the condensation polymers, repeated units of monomers are different. So it is example for a heteromer or copolymer. And in case of the addition polymerization, reaction is fast and polymer is formed at only once. And in the case of the condensation polymers, the polymer is formed in gradual steps. So that's why the condensation polymer is also called as step growth polymerization. Step growth polymerization. Okay, ma. And the sixth one, addition polymerization, there is a very little change in the molecular mass throughout the reaction. And in the condensation polymers, the molecular mass of the polymer increases throughout the reaction. So this is also one more reason to get a stable polymers in condensation polymers. Why? Because the resultant polymer molecular weight will be gradually increases. So the stability of the polymer is also increases. But in case of the addition polymers, there is no drastic change in the resultant polymer molecular weight. And seventh one, the product is obtained is a thermoplastic. The product is obtained is a thermoplastic. Thermoplastic means soft on heating and stiff on cooling. Soft on heating and stiff on cooling. So that means the polymer is molded into a required shape by applying the heat. That means applying a thermal condition. So it involves a linear and branched chain. But in case of the condensation, product obtained may be thermosetting or thermoplastic. So if it is thermoplastic, the stability is less. But if it is thermosetting, the stability is high. Why? Because it involves the cross-linked chain linkage. Cross-linked chain linkage. And the examples of addition polymers are polyethylene, PVC, and polystyrene. Whereas the examples for a condensation polymers are bakelite, polyester, and polyamides. Okay, ma. And the addition polymers are called as linear and branched chain polymers. Linear and branched chain polymers. The condensation polymers are called as a cross-linked chain polymers. Cross-linked chain polymers. Okay, ma. And finally, the addition polymers are a less stable polymers, and condensation polymers are a high stable polymers. High stable polymers. Okay, ma. So this is about the overall differences between the condensation and addition polymerization. Condensation and addition polymerization. Okay, ma. Now tell me, what is the alternative name for addition polymerization, amma?
Chain growth.
Chain growth polymerization. Okay, ma. What is the alternative name for condensation, amma?
Step growth polymerization.
Step growth polymerization.
Step growth polymerization. Okay, ma. The addition polymerization takes place in monomers by involving how many bonds, amma?
Multiple bonds.
Multiple bonds. And in condensation polymerization depends on
Functional bond. Functional groups.
Functional groups of a monomers. Okay, very good. In which polymerization byproducts are formed, amma?
Condensation.
Condensation polymer.
Condensation polymerization. What are the examples of byproducts, amma, in condensation?
Nylon 6.
I want
NH3.
examples of byproducts, amma, in condensation.
H2O, NH3.
H2O, ammonia, HCl.
Okay, amma. Water, ammonia, hydrochloric acid are the substances which are formed as a byproducts in condensation polymerization. Okay, amma. And So in which polymerization the resultant polymer molecular weight is increases?
Condensation.
Condensation polymerization. Okay, amma. And what are the examples for addition polymers, amma?
Polyethylene,
PVC.
polystyrene,
Polystyrene and polyvinyl chloride.
polyvinyl chloride,
What are the examples for the condensation polymers, amma?
Bakelite,
bakelite, melamine.
polyester,
Bakelite, polyester and polyamides. Okay, amma. In addition polymers, which chains are involved, amma?
linear and branched,
Linear.
Okay, amma. In condensation polymers, which chain takes place?
cross-linked,
Cross-linked.
Cross-linked chain. Okay, amma. So based on the chain mechanism, which polymers are more stable?
Condensation polymers.
Condensation polymers are more stable than the addition polymers. Okay, ma? So this is about the overall explanation for the addition and condensation polymerization. Okay, ma? Next we move to the plastics. Okay, ma? All of you visible the PPT of plastics, amma?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma. Okay, ma? So this topic mainly covers the definition of the plastics. After that, we see the advantages of a plastics compared to the other materials, and finish the topic with the types of the plastics, which includes the both thermoplastics and the thermosetting plastics. Thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Okay, now let us see first of all definition of the plastics. Basically, the plastic is one of the polymeric substance that can be easily formed or molded into a desired shape. So that is the main specialty of the plastics. That means it should be molded into our desired shape by applying temperature and pressure. So plastic can be formed in a desired shape by the effect of mechanical force or heat. Mechanical force is nothing but a pressure, and heat means by applying thermal conditions. So in the manufacture of plastic, the raw materials like coal, petroleum, cellulose, salt, sulfur, limestone, air, water, etc. can be used. So all these materials, which includes the manufacturing of a raw plastic. And we see what are the advantages of a plastics compared to the previous materials. It is having a low fabrication cost. That means the manufacturing cost is low and having low thermal and electrical conductivities and high resistance to corrosion and solvents. Okay, ma? So there is no conducting properties in case of a plastics, and the overall manufacturing cost, the production cost is low. Okay, ma, now it is okay, ma. All of you visible the advantage of plastic slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma. So the manufacturing cost, that means the production cost of the plastic is low, and it is having the low thermal and electrical conductivities, and it is high resistance to corrosion solvent. For example, if you use the in the place of the plastic, is there any material like metals? It easily undergoes a corrosion phenomena. But in the case of the plastics, there is no such type of the corrosion phenomena. And the stress and strain relationship of the plastics is similar to that of the metals. That means it is having the similar strength of the metals, and plastics reduce the noise and vibration in machines. That means if you use the metallic ware, in the case of the machines, they causes so much of the noise, and because of its weight, it causes the vibration. But in case of the plastics are the less weight and should not causes the any vibration. If it is any presence of vibration, that is very less. And plastics are the bad conductors of heat, are useful for making handles, used for hot objects. Most plastics are the inflammable. Especially these the plastic handles are useful for the to take up the hot objects like kitchenware. Okay, and it is most plastics are inflammable in nature. And the plastics are electrical insulators. These plastics are the electrical insulators and find large scale used in the electrical industry. And these plastics are the resistance to the chemicals, because there is no chemical reactivity with the chemicals, and the plastics are clear and transparent so that they can be given beautiful colors. Okay, so this is about the advantages of a plastics. Okay, Amma, tell me what is the definition for plastics, Amma?
Which can be easily formed and molded.
Into a desired shape by applying a temperature and pressure. Okay, Amma? So that is the definition for a plastic. So plastics are defined as a one of the polymer, and it can be molded into a desired shape or required shape by applying temperature and pressure, and in the presence of a catalyst for the improvement of the rate of the reaction. So that is called as a definition of a plastic. Okay, ma? So plastic is a substance which is molded into a required shape or desired shape by applying temperature and pressure in the presence of a catalyst. So that is called a plastic. Okay, ma? What are the raw materials used for manufacture of plastic, ma?
Coal, petroleum, cellulose, salt, sulfur, limestone, air, water.
Okay, ma. All these materials which includes the manufacture of a plastic. Yes. Okay, ma. Tell me what are the advantages of plastic, ma? Now, what are the advantages of plastic?
Low fabrication cost, low
Hmm.
thermal and electrical conductivity, high resistant to corrosion and sound.
Okay, okay. And is also stress and strain relationship of the plastic similar to that of the metals. So these are the advantages of the plastics when compared to the metals. And in case of industries, plastics reduce the noise and vibration emissions, and these are the bad conductors of heat, and it is also useful for making the handles used for art objects. And the plastics are highly inflammable. And plastics are example for conductors or insulators.
Insulators.
Insulators, electrical insulators. Okay, ma? And these plastics are reacted with chemicals or unreacted with chemicals?
Unreact.
Unreacted with chemicals. Okay, ma. And plastic show the color?
No, clear and transparent.
Clear and transparent. Okay, ma. So that is about the advantages of the plastics. Next, we move to the types of the plastics. Already we discussed about there are mainly two types of the plastics. One is thermoplastics and second one is the thermosetting plastics. The first one is the thermoplastics and second one is the thermosetting plastics. The first category is the thermoplastics. Second one is the thermosetting plastics. Okay, ma. Already you have some idea about the thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. We see the examples of thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Okay, ma. Anybody tell me addition polymers comes under category of thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics?
Thermoplastics.
Thermoplastic. Okay, ma. Very good. Condensation polymers?
Thermosetting.
Thermoset.
Thermosetting plastics. Okay, ma. Now anybody explain the stability of the polymers?
Condensation polymers greater than
Condensation polymers are more stable than the addition polymers.
polymers.
Okay, tell me what about stability of plastics? Out of two, which one is more stable?
Plastics greater than thermos. So thermosetting plastics.
Thermosetting is more stable than thermoplastic.
Thermosetting plastics are more stable than the thermoplastics. Why? Because thermosetting involves the condensation polymerization. Why condensation polymers are more stable than the addition polymers?
They are cross-linked chains. More
They are
number of
cross-linked polymers. They are cross-linked polymers. Okay, very good. Okay, now we see thermoplastics. These are mainly produced by the addition polymerization. Addition polymerization. So addition polymerization means the polymerization which involves the without formation of byproducts. Okay, ma? And the resins are made of long chains attached by the weak van der Waals force of attraction. Already we discussed about addition polymers are called as a chain growth polymerization. That means the resultant polymers are a long chain polymers, and the stability of the polymers are weak. Why? Because it involves the weak van der Waals force of the attraction. Weak van der Waals force of the attraction. On heating, they are softening, and cooling becomes stiff. Already I explained the definition of a plastics, which are the polymers soft on heating, and stiff on cooling. Soft on heating and stiff on heating, stiff on cooling. So the chemical nature want to change, and they can be remolded. So because of the nature of soft on heating and stiff on cooling, they can be remolded. And scrap waste product can be used for the manufacturing of thermoplastics. We use the waste product, and these resins are soft, weak, and less brittle, and these are easily soluble in some organic substances, and the solubility of the plastics is high. And what are the examples for these plastics? Polyvinyl chloride and polyethylene. Polyvinyl chloride and polyethylene. And it contains a long chain polymers with no cross linkage. This point is also very important, which involves the long chain, but it does not contain any cross links. That's why the stability of the thermoplastics are less compared to a thermosetting plastics. Okay, ma. Tell me, what is the polymerization involved in thermoplastics?
Additional
polymerization.
Addition polymerization. Which forces are involved in the formation of thermoplastics?
Weak van der Waals force.
Weak van der Waals forces. So the stability of the polymers are higher or less?
Less.
Less. Okay. Okay. What is the definition for the thermoplastics? Definition for thermoplastics. At least explain nature of plastics.
Which can be molded on heating.
Okay. What is thermoplastic nature?
Forces of attraction.
Heat, which can be softened by heating and on
Soft on heating, stiff on cooling. Soft on heating, stiff on cooling. Because of the nature of these thermoplastic nature, they can be remolded because they are soft on heating and stiff on heating. Soft on heating and stiff on cooling. Okay, ma? These are soft on heating and stiff on cooling. Okay, ma? So that's why because of this nature, these are applicable to remolded into their shape. Okay, ma. What is the nature of resin in thermoplastic?
Soft.
weak and less brittle.
Okay, ma. So in which solvents the thermoplastics are soluble?
Organic substances.
Okay, ma. What are the examples for a thermoplastics?
PVC, polyethylene.
Okay, ma. Polyvinyl chloride and polyethylene. Okay, ma. So what is the chain involved in thermoplastics?
Linear.
Linear and branch.
Linear and
Okay.
branch.
Linear and branched chain. Okay, ma. So this is about the thermoplastics. Next, we move to the second type of the plastics, thermosetting plastics. Thermosetting plastics. So thermosetting plastics which are produced by the condensation polymerization. So condensation polymerization which involves the formation of a byproducts like water, ammonia, etc. Okay, and these resins having the three-dimensional network structure connected bonds. So this point is very important. These thermosetting plastics resins especially involves the three-dimensional network. Because of the three-dimensional network, these polymers are highly stable. Okay, ma. On heating, they become stiff and hard, and further there is no change on cooling. That means chemical nature changes. Okay, ma. This point is also very important. Ma. The stiffing nature is acquired by these plastics on heating only, and becomes an hard. And further there is no change on cooling. But further there is no change on cooling. That's why because of this nature they cannot be remolded, because once set means they are permanently setting polymers. And in the manufacturing of these polymers, we cannot use this scrap product. That means these thermosetting plastics are manufactured by the pure plastics, which does not involve the any waste products. And these resins are usually hard, strong, tough, and more brittle. These resins are usually hard, strong, tough, and more brittle. And these resins are not soluble in organic solvents. And the examples of thermosetting plastics are the nylon and bakelite. Nylon and bakelite. And these are having a three-dimensional network structure. Three-dimensional network structure. Okay, ma? So this is about the thermosetting plastics.
ఎక్స్క్యూజ్ మీ సార్,
మేడం
అసలు స్టార్ట్ చేయమంటారా సార్ ఏమన్నా?
మీ ఇష్టం మేడం, నేను కంటిన్యూ చేయమని చేస్తే ఇంకా మాక్సిమం అయిపోయింది. నెక్స్ట్ అవర్ మీదేనా? థర్డ్ అవర్?
యాక్చువల్ లేదు సార్, నాకు ల్యాబ్ ఉంది ఇప్పుడు 3 hours.
ఓకే మేడం, నేను కంటిన్యూ చేసేస్తాను. ఇప్పుడు థర్డ్ అవర్ ఎవరు వీళ్ళకి? ఏమో థర్డ్ అవర్ ఎవరమ్మా మీకు స్టూడెంట్స్?
ల్యాబ్ సార్ ఇప్పుడు సెకండ్, థర్డ్, ఫోర్త్ అవర్ 3-4 hours
ఓకే,
ల్యాబ్.
2, 3, 4 మీకు ల్యాబ్. ఓకే ఓకే, మీరు మామూలుగా
ల్యాబ్ కదా 3 hours ఎందుకు అని.
ఓకే 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 మేడం, ఓకే మేడం. సరే మేడం, అయితే మీకు పోస్ట్ మీ దగ్గర ఉన్నట్టుంది మేడం, నేను లీవ్ అయిపోనా?
ఓకే ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే 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 మేడం, ఓకే ఓకేనమ్మా. దిస్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ ది థర్మోసెట్టింగ్ ప్లాస్టిక్స్ అమ్మా. హర్షిని మేడం ఒక 3 minutes లో ఇచ్చేస్తాం మేడం మీకు, జస్ట్ 3
పర్లేదు
minutes.
సార్, పర్లేదు సార్, జస్ట్ నాకు ఒకసారి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అంటే చెప్పండి అంతే.
ఓకే, మీరు ఉంటారా మేడం? లైన్ లోనే ఉంటారా? ఒక 3 minutes లో ఇచ్చేస్తాం.
లైన్ లోనే ఉంటాను సార్ ఇంకా.
ఓకే 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 అమ్మా. స్టూడెంట్స్, జస్ట్ టెల్ మీ అబౌట్ థర్మోసెట్టింగ్ ప్లాస్టిక్స్. విచ్ polymerization ఇన్వాల్వ్ ఇన్ థర్మోసెట్టింగ్ అమ్మా?
Condensation.
Polymerization.
Condensation polymerization. Okay amma. So what is the network involved in thermosetting plastics?
3-dimensional network.
3-dimensional network. Okay amma. Anybody define thermosetting plastics?
On heating, they become hard and stiff, and no change when they are cool.
Okay amma. Okay. And what is the nature of resin amma in thermosetting plastics?
Hard, strong, and brittle.
Okay amma. And what is the solubility of the thermosetting?
Insoluble.
Insoluble in organic solvents. Okay. What are the examples for a thermosetting plastics?
Nylon, bakelite.
Nylon, bakelite. Okay amma. Out of 2 plastics, thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics, which are more stable amma?
Thermosetting plastic.
Thermosetting.
Thermosetting plastics are more stable. Why thermosetting is more stable?
Cross-linked chain.
Cross.
Presence of cost.
Because it involves the cross-linked chain. Okay. Okay. So this is about the types of the plastics. Okay, thank you for your listening. Tomorrow we'll discuss about